Here we are with another episode of the Scholar Budget podcast, where we help students to earn a debt free degree and talk about things related to college affordability. Now, you've probably heard me say this before, but there is an opportunity for you to flip your community service into dollars. And today's guest, who is Anushka and Sophia, will talk to us even more on how we can find opportunities that are a good fit for us and how community service can have multiple effects and impacts in our lives and the lives of others. So, Anushka and Sophia are the co founders of Peared, which is an organization that helps students to find opportunities that are a good fit for them when it comes to community service. Because after seeing the inefficiencies in volunteer organization and student organization advertising, specifically in their area in Texas, they aim to fix this problem by creating Peered. So let's jump into this next episode. Grab your favorite notebook and a pen or pencil to make sure you take notes, but most importantly, take action. You're listening to the Scholar Budget Podcast, where we teach you how to earn a debt-free degree, grow your money, and claim every opportunity with your name on it. I'm your host, Rockell Bartoli. Let's jump right in. So here we have Anushka and Sophia. Welcome, ladies, to the Scholar Budget Podcast. Please let us know more about who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm a junior at Tompkins High School, and I'm a co-founder of Peared.
Hi everyone. I'm Anushka. I'm a senior at Tompkins, and I'm a co-founder of Peared, and I'm super excited to tell everyone about how we optimize volunteering.
Awesome. So we're here to talk about volunteering, community service, and Peared. So can you tell us just in a nutshell what is Peared?
Yeah, so we're basically a nonprofit. We like to connect volunteers with tailored community service opportunities by centralizing these events. And we also give more visibility to grassroots organizations to foster stronger and more engaged communities.
So you are working with students who want to serve and also with organizations that you can connect the students with. Is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. And so I know that we have listeners that are in high school and listeners that are in college. And, many times these students, they want to volunteer, but they don't always know exactly where to start. And sometimes opportunities are right under their nose, but it's not a good time, different reasons, right? So how does Peered, your organization, make it easier for students to plug into their communities and make it available for them to be able to serve?
So most of the time when students first get started with volunteering, they volunteer at pretty large organizations such as their local food bank or really large regional nonprofits. But sometimes this leads to a bad perception of volunteering because it's not really tailored to their own interests, and the task can be somewhat mundane if you're not completely immersed in what you're doing. So pretty much what
Right.
Pear does is it allows people to find volunteering opportunities that are more catered towards their interests, which makes volunteering a much more interesting and engaging experience. So if people are getting started with volunteering, instead of first going to the food bank or some other more large scale volunteering organization, they can maybe find something that is to fine tuned to their own interests and help create more enthusiasm surrounding volunteering for them.
Cool. So instead of it just being like a random thing, right? I'm just going to sign up for this because it's in my backyard. Peered kind of makes it more of a tailored type of opportunity. And I can see this being like a win-win situation, especially if you can volunteer with an organization that's in alignment with the things that you like to do, or even like if you're considering a career or a future job opportunity and you plug into Peered and you find out, oh, maybe there's a local hospital that I can serve at. And plus, I'm going into the healthcare field. Would that be like what you kind of do?
That's exactly what we're trying to do.
I love that. And so, how can students position their community service to help them obtain scholarships? Because here on this podcast, our main goal is to provide students with resources and information that's going to help them to afford college. And so, I'm always letting students know, we want to serve because it's a great thing to do, right? We want to give back to our community. But I also try to help them understand how to flip their community service for dollars. scholars. So, in your opinion, how can they really use this community service to help them pull in money and other future opportunities?
So, as a high school senior, I'm kind of getting ready to go to college, and I've been looking for scholarships to help me out, take that financial burden. And because I've been so involved in volunteering, there's certain scholarships like the Cameron Impact Foundation, the Coca-Cola Scholarship, there's the Taco Bell Scholarship, there's like several others that focus on students' community impact and outreach throughout high school. So through doing like through being really involved in volunteering, you're able to qualify for all these scholarships that give like thousands and thousands in like help just for you being really involved in your community.
Right, absolutely. Any thoughts from you, Sophia?
Yeah, I think it's just really helpful to have like an impactful like community service story that you can present, especially when applying for scholarships and other things like that. So yeah, I just think it's really beneficial to be able to have these tailored hours.
Yeah, and I agree with you as well. And I think even for the scholarships that don't technically say that you need community service, I think it's always beneficial to be able to say that I served my community, whether it's with a nonprofit organization, but to show like I served, and that'll help you to receive as well. So what would you say are some skills that students can gain through volunteering that directly translate to success in high school or even in college or in the future?
So the students that volunteer with us, they show initiative by going on our website and going to find organizations or events that they can volunteer at. It shows that they have a lot of community engagement. So it's like a great way to improve, like not only yourself, but also give back to the things around you.
Mhm.
So it shows a lot of like leadership and basically allows them to take initiative.
Right. And I know that scholarships are looking for students who are leading in their communities as well. Top of mind, Foot Locker scholarship, specifically on the application, they say we're looking for student athlete leaders. So here, when you're taking that initiative, looking for, organizations and partnering, you're showing that you have those leadership skills that you're developing. Anushka, is there anything that you wanted to add to that?
I think one thing I would want to add is doing really tailored community service, like how we're trying to create with Paired, shows that you're trying to be more creative and you're more intentional with the ways you spend your time. Like volunteering in
Mhm.
general is really helpful for the community, but I think showing a like specific story and showing that you're really thoughtful with how you spend your time and how you want to create your impact is super important too to craft a really good story for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is amazing is that Peered itself is youth led. Like you both are high school students. So kudos to you for starting this organization. Like what grade were you in when the idea came to life?
So pretty much last year we were doing the Diamond Entrepreneurial Challenge and we were pitching a social venture. So first we pitched Paired as a way to help elderly people get more social opportunities. But we found that the structure that we made for that business or like social venture would be really good as just like a general volunteering platform since we're already garnering volunteers for that cause. So pretty much I was in 11th grade, Sophia was in 10th grade. And so then once we were finished with the challenge around November, December, we decided to actually create Paired as like a general volunteering platform. And then we launched in around January of last year.
Awesome. That is so cool. I love it. I love it. So, yeah, so Peered is youth led, which is super amazing. So, what message does that send to students who might feel like I'm too young to make a big difference? Like my community service is just a drop in the bucket. Like what can you say to those students who might have a big idea, but they're just not sure?
Yeah, so I think it's just important to just like do it. Like the Nike slogan. So it's important to like, even if you have doubts, you should just like go ahead and like try because there's no harm in trying, but there are like infinite benefits that you could gain.
Very true. And do you think that you all faced any adversity or even fears as you were developing Peered? Because it's easier said than done, right? Sometimes to just do it, but it's like, what if I don't have support, or what if nobody believes in my idea? How would you overcome maybe some obstacles students might face around that?
I think like one of the biggest fears for starting initiatives for high schoolers is pretty much like how loud it is socially, like advertising on social media and things like that. I think like within our school, it's like almost seen as like cringe to like try really hard. But I think just kind of getting over that fear and like realizing like we're trying to do what's important for us is also really like important for starting certain initiatives. I think you really need to believe in what you're doing and that'll help you get
Mhm.
through like any adversities that you're going to face.
Awesome. Did you wanna share something, Sophia?
No, I completely agree with what Anushka said. I just think it's important to like be able to have those like it like allows you to develop your own skills to reach out by yourself and like expand and grow your own organization. So I just think it's like great a really great experience to have. Like everyone should like overcome like whatever doubts they're facing and just like go straight into like trying.
Yeah, just go for it. I love it. I mean, you can't really fail. It's like you learn from it and then you just keep going, right? And so, what are some of the most meaningful volunteer connections you've seen through Peered so far? Because I know it's fairly new, but what have been some of the highlights for you as you have built this organization?
So we actually had an event in around like June where we connected with over 15 organizations from our local community and we were able to gain 50 or we had 200 people at our event and we were able to gain 50 active volunteers and contribute over 100 hours to our community.
Wow.
So yeah, it was just like that was a great starting point for us. It was like kind of where we kicked off fully and made ourselves known to the community.
Awesome. And so, demographically, which students can tap into Peered and start finding opportunities that are a good fit for them?
So right now we're in the Houston area, but we have connections to Fort Worth and then also San Jose. And then we have a few in Jersey. So we're trying to start chapters there in the next few weeks in order to kick off Paired in those communities too. So pretty much we'll use the same website, except different chapters will advertise on their own social media pages. And then the drop down menu for selecting like volunteer events to look for, you can kind of select your city, which will show like the events within your chapter.
And how is a chapter started or initiated?
So on our website, there's going to be a section where people can like apply to start a chapter, and they can also reach out to us through like our social media or our email. So yeah, it's just a great way to get started.
So, with starting a chapter, does that mean I could be a student in New York, Florida, or California, and I want to start or be a part of the Peered initiative? Is that what that looks like?
Yes, so a chapter like lead, if you were interested in starting a chapter, you'd gather a few people that you think would be good fits to be an outreach lead, a finance lead, an events lead, and then a web dev lead. And then you would have those four people and yourself, and you'd fill out an application. And then pretty much what you do after that, once you're accepted, is that you would have a paired New York Instagram page where you'd
Okay.
advertise all the events, and then you'd also advertise on Facebook and all your social media websites, but pretty much the advertising will be more specific to that one region, and you can gather support for the events near you.
Awesome. And I like that you don't have to do it by yourself because you just listed like a few positions within that state. So it would just be a matter of finding a couple of friends or other students who want to participate, who want to volunteer, but they might be a little apprehensive or just not sure. So you don't really have to do this on your own. Is that right?
Yeah. We try to split up the work between like our main tasks so it's not too overwhelming for people.
Beautiful. Teamwork is always better. So, Sophia and Anushka, if a student listening right now has never volunteered before, why should they give it a try this semester?
I think it has a great benefit to like college applications, and also it just allows them to get like more involved. And volunteering opportunities are always beneficial for high school students, like no matter where you are. It's
Right?
most important to show like that you're involved in your community, you're giving back, and you're looking for initiatives to get started. So, and also it's not very difficult to volunteer. So if you want to volunteer, you can just find like go to our paired website or just find like a local service. It's pretty easy to get started.
Any thoughts from you, Anushka?
Yeah, I think volunteering is one of those activities that's just really fulfilling, like in itself, because I've done so many different extracurriculars in different domains. Like I've done math competitions and like research and stuff like that. But like whenever I volunteer in like each of these different categories, I feel like it makes you like have some satisfaction in knowing that you're creating like more of an impact than what you would have like just doing stuff by yourself. So I think that people aspect is also a really nice part of volunteering on top of all the added benefits you get with like college apps.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like when you volunteer, it's very selfless, right? You're giving up time. Sometimes you're giving up resources if you're donating money. There's a lot that you're giving, right? And sometimes we're in a world where it's like me, take, take, take. And when you're serving, it gives you the opportunity to be on the other end of that. And like 99.9% of the times, unless you just have a terrible experience, you walk away from that feeling so much better that you were able to help somebody. And it's like just a natural high for you because you feel good that you were able to do something great for somebody else. So I agree with both of you. There's an abundant amount of benefits that comes from serving your community, and not just in high school, like as a grown adult as well. You know, continuing to serve makes a huge impact. So, ladies, as we get ready to close out, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience when it comes to Peered, community service, or anything under that umbrella?
I think I would just like to shout out our chapter applications opening soon. So anybody that has found this cause interesting and likes what we're doing, and you're not in Houston, Fort Worth, or San Jose and Jersey, if you're not in any one of those cities, please feel free to fill out a chapter application and we'll get back to you within a few days. And like you can start a paired chapter in your own city. It'll be really exciting.
Awesome. And we'll also include the link to your application in the description box so they can click on that and join. All right. And Sophia, any thoughts from you?
Yeah, I think we're just excited to get all these start connecting and branching out more, and we're excited to see where Pear continues to go.
All right, ladies, thank you for joining me. Have an amazing day. Hey there. I hope you were taking notes and you're ready to implement what you heard. If this podcast inspired you or helped you in any way, I would love for you to subscribe, follow, and share this with a student, parent, or educator you care about, because sharing is caring. Also, your feedback means a lot. So please leave a written review of this show on Apple Podcasts. And if you ever want to connect outside of the podcast, you can find us at The Scholar Budget on Insta or the Book of Faces. So until next time, shine bright and put in the work so we can make those dreams a reality. Bye!